What's up, y'all? It's Brandon here at Turnbuckle Boxing. I went back and forth about even doing this video in regards to the Jake Paul-Anthony Joshua fight, but I said I would deliver some content on it, so here goes. First, want to say congrats to AJ for coming back after a 15-month layoff and being knocked out by Daniel Dubois in his last outing in 2024. Came back, got the victory, got the knockout like he was supposed to. Looked very rusty in doing so, couldn't quite cut off the ring, but it's hard to cut off the ring on a guy who his only intent was to come in there and run the entire time. We're talking about Jake Paul. And that's what we saw for nearly six rounds. Jake came out there, he had no intention to win, was nut hugging the entire time. And by nut hugging, I mean he was just falling to the floor, clenching, falling to the floor, almost took AJ down, between the ropes a couple of times. What Jake Paul did belonged in WWE. In fact, his brother Logan fights in the WWE and does a much better job of doing that than what Jake Paul did in the fight Friday night. We're not going to give Jake credit for staying in there for nearly 6 rounds and then getting knocked out. No, because he didn't come to win. He came to put on a show, and for those who paid their money to be there in person to watch it, you got a show. And those who watched on Netflix or at home or however you watched it, the production quality was great. The undercard was entertaining, and there were some good fights on the undercard. The women's bouts were really good, and so from a production standpoint, job well done. But the main event left a lot to be desired, and I think AJ, like I said, coming back after a 15-month layoff, needs to go back, get back in the gym, and work and just knock the rust off. He couldn't quite catch up to a guy who's a cruiserweight that was in there with no intent to win. Paul hit AJ with a couple of overhand rights, yeah, but he ate them like communion crackers. I mean, it was nothing to him. And AJ's the naturally bigger guy, the stronger guy, more punching power, has the better boxing pedigree. I mean, AJ is an Olympic gold medalist, 2-time heavyweight champ of the world. But if he wants to get back on that level and being able to compete for the strap at the heavyweight division, AJ has a lot of work to do. And I think that's understandable, 15-month layoff. So, I don't know who he fights next. I know in the press conference afterwards, they were talking about Fury. Well, we'll see. What Paul showed me was he has a little bit of skill. And by a little bit, I mean, like, mediocrity is his world. That's his wheelhouse. And he puts on a good show, puts on a decent show. Obviously, I watched it, so I'm not going to shit on it because, I tuned in. And anybody that was expecting anything other than what we saw, you're delusional. I wasn't expecting it to be a great boxing match. I wasn't expecting there to be an upset. I just wanted to see how soon AJ was going to knock this guy out, and was hoping that he would knock him out. And I think we all got what we wanted. We got the KO. It just happened to take a little bit longer. This is no black eye on boxing because AJ couldn't get him out of there. But I think it is insulting to the sport because no points were taken away for all the falling around that he was doing. The referee was terrible. I don't even know who that guy was, but points should have been deducted. And that wasn't a boxing match. There was a cat and mouse game where the cat finally caught the mouse and took care of business and then got out of there. Happy for AJ getting a check, but now it's time to get down to business and get serious about the business of boxing. So whatever Paul decides to do after this, I know he got his jaw broken in 2 different places. He needs to be on the show. If you guys remember the show, MTV show Jackass, he needs to call up Johnny Knoxville and see if they can do a reboot of that or something, because that's basically what this was. Going in there knowing that the only way that you were going to get out of there was either being knocked out or to run the entire time. That's my take on the fight. So if you haven't done so already, please hit the like button and the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell, so you can catch all our latest content right here on YouTube. Also, go to our Instagram, Turnbuckle Boxing, where you can see some of our content over there. So we're trying to give you guys as much as we possibly can. Reg is taking care of some business, so I'm trying to hold down the fort, but he'll be back soon enough. So thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.